Today we celebrate not fear, but flair, not fright, but fabrication. For in a world of store-bought sameness, one soul dares to conjure something truly original. A handmade Halloween costume, woven with wonder, wit, and just a pinch of the otherworldly in the new, paranormal. Ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and goblins, please welcome Vinh! Let's begin with a lightning round. Favorite movie?
Honestly, it would have to be Spirited Away. I'm sure you were a little disappointed with me, but I didn't post anything for Halloween. We were actually slated to do No Face and Chihiro. He was going to be Chihiro. And I got sick last minute, so we didn't even celebrate Halloween.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Look at me, bawling my eyes out, which is odd because I'm a ghost and I have no lacrimal glands. Anyway, name 3 DIY Halloween costumes in recent years.
Number 1 would have to be when we dressed up as Mono and Six from the Little Nightmares video game. Number 2 would be the Beetlejuice costume, Barbara and Adam. I think number 3 would be Oogie Boogie and Dr. Finkelstein.
Are you an impulsive shopper?
1000%. I have very obsessive, OCD sort of behavior. I will gravitate towards something and obsess over it, and I will buy, for example, these Pop Marts. If I see it, I can't just have one. I have to have the entire collection.
What is a habit you're trying to build?
I'm trying to be healthier in terms of what I cook and also my workout routines.
I wish I had a body to build, but I don't because I'm a ghost and I left my mortal meat suit behind years ago. Now I just haunt the gym mirrors and whisper bad form critiques into people's ears. I digress. Vinh, I have summoned you this day in reverence of your sacred annual rite, the masterful crafting of costumes so terrifying they blur the line between man and monster. Tell me, what dark muse stirs your imagination and breathes life into your Halloween creations?
It depends on my budget for the year, first of all. I have to have a budget or I tend to go overboard. As Ahi tells me,
yes.
He tries to reel me back in when I start buying things to decorate for Halloween, even for Christmas. It's not necessarily something like a consistent process every single year. It's really what comes to me at the time. The thing is with the costume ideas or the decorations, there's got to be some sort of whimsy to it. It's a little entertaining for, my friends and family when they see it. It's not just an experience for me, but for them as well.
My DIY costume last year was supposed to be a mummy, but it ended up looking like a roll of toilet paper that gave up halfway through and just started falling apart in defeat. Did your fascination with Halloween blossom from your childhood?
It did. It has blossomed since I was a really young kid. One of my favorite cartoons growing up was Scooby-Doo, and that kind of rolled into me just creating costumes on the go, for Halloween. Growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, so it was how do I create stuff out of cardboard? I would use rubber bands and cardboard and make a mask and, tie the rubber band so that it fit around as a mask.
I once dressed up as a half-human, half-horse for Halloween. That year, I was the centaur of attention. Let's talk about your costumes now. Are they really all handmade?
Mono and Six, 100% handmade. I was gluing stuff, sewing. Like I said, I was using my little sister's makeup to detail the costume.
I wonder what other couples' costumes you could do. Toilet paper and poop? Wait, that's a crappy idea, but I'm sure you can roll with it. Anyway, continue.
The year that took the longest was when I did Oogie Boogie. if you remember the costume, it was the entire like head to toe, right? For Ahi, who was Oogie Boogie, it was like covered in burlap from head to toe, like his fingers weren't even out. It really depends on the how intricate the costumes need to be, how much detail I want to put into it. But I remember that taking me maybe 2-3 weeks
Fascinating.
from like conception, and I would like work on it slowly. Plus, with a full time job, I mean, I would love to create costumes and decorate for Halloween, like as my full time job, but unfortunately, I have to work a 40-hour job, and in between, I would find time, and I would maybe spend 10-15 hours a week putting 10-15 hours a week into the costume, and that one took about 2 or 3 weeks.
What are some of the challenges of conjuring up handmade couples costumes year after year?
It's really the fit, because I am a one man team, and all my outfits, all my costumes are couples costumes because I always include Ahi. And he is, I love this man, but he hates when I dress him up for Halloween. He has no choice. But does he love it? Absolutely not. But I do have to fit things on him to make sure that it looks proportionate, or it looks right to what the costume needs to be. And one of the things we ran into the year that I did mono and six, we were actually supposed to be the opposite of what we actually wore.
Opposite?
But I kid you not, last minute, he could not fit into the raincoat that I made. So we had to swap. He
Swap?
had to be mono and I had to be six. Those are the challenges. We're two very different body types. You can't compromise, but it takes so much work.
Ah, compromise. Why can you never compromise with a veggie burger? Because they'll never meet in the middle. On a serious note, it is very honorable that your significant other is along for the ride.
Good.
So, by trick-or-treating around your neighborhood, what were some of your favorite reactions from civilians?
The Barbara and Adam costume from Beetlejuice, that year was really interesting because when we went out to trick or treat in those costumes, none of the kids got it. But it would be the adults that were giving out candy that were like, oh my God, that's Beetlejuice.
How do you store all of your Halloween stuff after the holiday is over?
At my parents' house, there we have a shed that I have taken over. I don't know if you remember the giant skeleton that I had on the roof. That takes up about half the shed.
What's that word for when your home turns into a storage unit every full moon? Oh yeah, a warehouse. Can we get a sneak preview of your Spirited Away progress?
The plan was really to focus on the No Face costume because I wanted to do a very spooky take on No Face and let Chihiro be just who Chihiro is. So I ordered Ahi's costume. He's going to be Chihiro, and I ordered that from Amazon, and I was going to put all my effort into creating No Face. The idea was to be on stilts so that it actually made sense for like the height proportion from No Face to Chihiro. We can't be the same height. Or have a headpiece big enough, tall enough to show at least a little bit of a difference. But I do want to create a less animated and more realistic version of what I think No Face would look like in real life if he were to exist. And I've seen some AI sort of images on Instagram that have really inspired me, and it's just less of like a black blob. It's more so like a swamp sort of creature with black threads coming off of him. He just has like a face, a no face mask on.
Ooh, that's
And
scary.
I want to turn the face into something a little bit more human, but with no features, just more so the outline of a human face, but with no eyes, lips, or anything like that. So very spooky take on No Face, but I think it's going to turn out really good.
What's the secret to making Halloween more enjoyable?
It has to come from something that brings me a lot of joy, and like Spirited Away is what my favorite movie. That brings me a lot of joy. Beetlejuice brings me a lot of joy. The video game Little Nightmares I love, and I can't wait for the third one to come out this year. But it always, for me, needs to come from a place that I've experienced something from it and makes me feel happy or some sort of emotion, right? And I draw from inspiration from that. When my family and friends see it, they feel it too. So it's not about not impressing people, but it's impressing the right people or making them feel what I feel when I dress up.
That's the power of a homemade costume. It shows others that creativity lives inside all of us. It spreads the message that joy can be handcrafted, that you don't need to be a professional artist or designer to make something that makes someone's day. So whether you're sewing, gluing, painting, or even just reimagining what you already have in your closet, know that when you put your heart into your Halloween costume, you're lighting up the season with something truly special, the joy of sharing your unique spark with the world. Vinh, thank you for shooting the sheet with me today. My friends, I must ghost you for now. Until next time, goodbye.